When it comes to sales and being in sales, what are some threats that salespeople need to know about, but they might not necessarily be able to change? I'm Sylvan Bell. I'm coming to you live from Sacramento, California on a perfect day to talk about sales and a perfect day to talk about you. Today, we are going to talk about weak management sales skills. And I'm not talking sales managers for the most part. I'm talking about the peripheral managers in most companies. And one of the threats to you as a salesperson comes in the form of your income, comes in the form of your compensation, comes in the form of your commissions. Because if you take a look at a team, and let's just say that a company has 100 people. And in that company, 100 people, you've got support staff, you've got people in the office, you've got delivery. There's all sorts of other departments besides the world of sales. And most people who aren't in sales get paid a set wage. I live in California, so today, minimum wage is 15 bucks. So let's say your sales team is 10 people, the rest of the office is 90, and all those people, for the most part, make minimum wage. And they look around and they go, look at that sales guy over there, look at that sales guy over there. I got a problem with the way that that guy gets paid. I get to see, I know how much they talk around the cooler. I know how much that guy makes, that girl makes. And so what happens is you've got 10 salespeople right here, 10 salespeople, and then 90 support staff roughly. And that can include the management team, that can include lower management, upper management, but it's like a 90-10 or even an 80-20. Okay, 90-10, 80-20, and all these people, they're looking at the salespeople going, that guy makes too much money. Okay? And the reason why this is a problem, this is why it could be an issue for you that you can't control, and it could be a sign of a weak management team, is everybody's going to the general manager, everybody's going to the business owner, however the structure is, and they're saying, look at those salespeople. Look at those salespeople. Look how much money they make. And instead of looking at it this way, if we pay for top talent and we pay for top results, then we're going to attract top salespeople. And if we attract top salespeople, then guess what happens when we have top salespeople? Oh, we get more sales. So the 80 people, the 90 people in the building, in the room, they're not thinking like, hey, look, when you're good at sales, you're the prize. They're not in that world. They're not a salesperson. What they're doing is they're looking and they're like, this sales guy just sold a $10,000 job and made 10% commission, made $1,000, makes more money than me in 2 weeks for sitting down with somebody for an hour or 2 hours. So then they march to the manager, they march to the general manager, they march to the owner, and they're like, look, dude, look, chick, this isn't fair. Sales guy, sales girl, sits down, drinks coffee, eats donuts, makes money, and I don't, right? And real deal, what the manager, what the general manager, what the business owner should do is like, hey, you want to be in sales? We'll train you. But you know, a lot of times what happens is it's mob mentality. There's this group of people right here, they're upset that salespeople make so much money, and there's 80 of them, there's 90 of them in an organization of 100, and then there's like 10 or 20 salespeople. And so what happens is it's like, okay, which group is going to be easier to please? Which group is going to have the least amount of resistance on a team? Oh, wait a minute. This group over here of the non-salespeople who are a liability to the company set the rules and sets the agendas, okay? And I see this happen. I talk to salespeople consistently like, Scott, why is it that companies are scared to pay for top talent? They don't necessarily bang their hand, right? Why is it? And this is what it comes down to. It's easier to look at a sales team and go, look, there's less of you in a building. There's more of these people who've got a problem. And it's one of the problems that you face as a salesperson that you don't necessarily have control of. But wait a minute, you might, right? So remember, in the world of sales, it's you against you. It's not you against the rest of the team, it's you against you. And if you're a closer, you're the prize. And so sometimes a conversation between you and a manager, you and a general manager, and you and an owner is a sales process. And is a conversation to have about going, wait a minute, time out. Why are all of these people over here who are a liability to the company making all the freaking rules? Why do these people make all the rules when they're not doing anything that, and I don't take this like, I don't mean this the wrong way, but they're not really doing anything. They're doing paperwork, they're putting information out, and it's a minimal skill. It's something that is not necessarily, it's not a sales skill, it's a liability, right? So you got all the salespeople driving all the revenue, and then you got the liabilities in the office of people who do the paperwork, and I'm not knocking them, but it is a limited skill for the most part. And so you as a salesperson, you're like, why are you so scared to pay me? And then you got the manager, you got the business owner, you got the general manager, they're sitting right here and they got most of the company, most of the team looking like the salespeople are a bunch of crybabies. The salespeople make a ton of money. The salespeople get to do this. The salespeople get to do that. But in all realities, all those people who make 10, 15, 20 bucks an hour, the administration, the liability side of the company, they could go out and sell and they could do the same thing. So where it comes down to you is, one, you could go to the manager, the general manager, the owner and say, hey, look, here's where I'm at. Two, you could go find somewhere else to work. Dude, if you're a closer, you are the prize, right? There's not closers everywhere. When you map out how many people there are in the world of sales who can actually close deals consistently over and over and over again and profitably, there's not very many of them. And so what it comes down to for you is you can look around and go, hey, look, I'm the closer, I'm the prize, time for me to look for somewhere else to go. Have the conversation with the team, the ownership group, the management group. If that doesn't get you anywhere, start looking. Because, what happens is people get in a rut. They're like, I'm scared. What happens if I leave? What happens if I go? Like, there are other good companies in your industry, and if you got to move. Here's the thing. At some point today, I'm in Sacramento. At some point, I'm going to live in Hawaii. At some point, I'm going to live in a tropical location. I don't know. It could be the Philippines, could be Vietnam, could be Thailand, could be the Cook Islands, could be Australia. I don't know. But here's the thing. When it comes to you being good at what you do, there are other good companies, there are other good organizations, there are other people who would welcome you with opening arms and say, come here, you are a closer, you are a prize, come show me how it's done, make my company money. But some of this comes down to culture, and sometimes you're going to find that management is scared, ownership is scared to have the tough conversation with the people who are like, look, you make 15 bucks an hour, you make 20 bucks an hour, you are a liability to the company, you have nothing, like you have some skills, but like the sales team over here, they're the people who drive the revenue. They're the people who go out every day and make things happen. They're the people who drive this company. Yeah, you do stuff, but it's low level. These skills that you have, they're good. Closing skills, way better. You know what? I'm probably going to start some fights with this. You're probably going to want to forward it to a manager. You're probably going to want to forward it to some people on your team. And they're going to look at it and be like, holy crap, how come nobody's ever said this before? It's because it's the way that it is, and most people are scared to bring up the tough conversation. Remember, we're in sales. We got to bring up the tough conversations. You've got one thing to do from here, just one thing. Find the subscribe button and click on it. Every time I send out a video, you'll get an update that says Scott Bell Consultant sent another video. Fantastic, and it brought the heat. We'll see you soon. Thanks for dropping by. Aloha.